Hello, princesses, and welcome back to Not Fit for Print Beauty with me, Rebecca. I have kind of a half face of makeup on, a little bit of balm and just the complexion done because I do not want any ado, no further ado. I want to get right into these limited edition. I got a table full of this limited edition Chanel Spring 2024 that I cannot wait to get into. I am so glad to have you here. Don't forget that you can also watch my content over on TikTok, Instagram, and on Threads. But we are very, very busy here today. The Chanel Spring 2024 collection is kind of trickling out slowly. It's a very large collection and it's all limited edition products. And I'm super excited to get these. We got a lot to do and I am making very liberal use, if you have noticed lately, of the timestamps down below. So if there's one product that I'm going to show in particular, I will make sure to really obsessively make these timestamps so you can get to what you need to see and I don't take up your time. But I'd really love to have you here for the whole thing because we have some really good stuff. Wait till you see on this table here. And all of these products are limited edition. I can't quite link them below yet for shopping because they're not consistently available anywhere yet. But don't worry, my ears to the ground. I'll make sure I let you guys know when you can pick these up. So how did I get it? Well, the wonderful James at my Chanel Beauty Boutique is pinch hitting for Nazi. I always talk about Nazi, my Chanel sales associate. Nazi is out just for a little bit and James pinch hitted for her today. So thank you so much, James, at the Newport Beach Fashion Island Beauty Boutique from Chanel. And who let me know that James had these cool things? A dear friend of mine, Michelle Burnstein, has her own channel. I'm sure you guys have seen it. Michelle Burnstein Beauty. She's a dear friend, has so much knowledge about luxury makeup and skincare, just no nonsense approach to these things. Check out Michelle Burnstein Beauty's channel. I have it linked down below and here on the screen. Tell her I said a big hello. She's a really, really good resource. And she is the one who tipped me off to all these goodies today. So thank you so very much, the lovely Michelle. All right, let's get into it. Let me talk about what I have. As I told you, I'm only kind of half made up here and we had a lot of different products to try on. So I'm going to be washing things off and all sorts of things. Okay. For spring, the larger collection has nail polish, eyeliner, and some balms. I'm wearing one of the winter balms that'll all be linked down below. But the larger collection has that. I skipped it. I went to the meat of the matter because you can't get it all. And those are the two Les Four Ombres. So we have two of them here. We have number 78, which is called Rivage. That just means the shore in French. Isn't that beautiful? Very shoreline colors. We've got the brown sandy colors and the blue for spring. And then the other eye quad is 88 Coral Treasure. I promise you most people are going to want to get one and not the other. But they're very perfect for spring. One in blues and one in corals. Really pretty. And the coordinating lip shades, I mean, I love them, but I just couldn't get everything, are kind of pinky corals too. So they really work with that. These are each going to be $64. And like I said, I will make sure to keep following up when they're available because they are limited edition. And I know that it can be a little bit of a wild goose chase to get some of these Chanel products if you don't have a store that you can go into. Okay, the other limited edition spring 2024 that I got like 5 products here, so hold tight, is the Rouge Coquillage. This is a duo powder blush. It is $80. Can you see both of those powders in there? They're 2 different shades. You'll see it when we swatch if not. It's kind of like I said, these kind of rosy into coral. So we have a more rosy shade here and a more coral shade there. Do you see that? And we have a really, really pretty kind of swirling pattern on it. I'll get that in there on editing if you cannot see it here. It's very, very pretty. And I'm going to do swatches in 2 different lights, so you'll make sure that you can see this, don't worry. That is $80, also limited edition. I picked up 2 really, really cool highlighters that could probably also do in a pinch on the eyes. The first is the Lumiere de l'Ocean. Now, this one is a little controversial. It's $80. I think it's gorgeous. Wait till you see the swatches. It is, it's downright glittery. When I picked up this one, Michelle Burnstein said to me, are you sure you want that one? I'm like, yeah, I do. I mean, I'm curious about it. It's kind of got all of these kind of multi-effect, multi-chrome kind of glitters in it. I guess it won't be for everyone, but I think you're going to be surprised at how pretty it is. That's $80, also limited edition. And then we have a new Baum Essentiel to go with this collection. That is called, it's called Mermaid Glow. I know. I thought the same thing you did. Please don't call it that. We have to go with like the TikTok lingo. Forgive it. Forgive the name because it's amazing. This is $48 and it is so pretty. You guys know the Baum Essentiel. It's perfect. You can put lips, eyes. I use it as a highlighter. It can even be a glowy blush. Some people even put it on and then kind of smooth it in before they put foundation on. It's a really great multi-purpose product. And when I was in the Chanel boutique, they were telling me there that this Lumiere de Lotion is gorgeous on the eyes, which I bet it is. I bet it is. And if I didn't tell you, the Baum Essentiel is $48. Now, like I said, this is a bigger collection. It's got 2 of those Rouge lip shades, the Baume Rouge lip shades, which are lovely. Some nail polish, some eyeliners, things like that. But I just tried to get to the meat of the matter. Now let's start with some swatches. What I have that I can link below, of course I will, but make sure that you check out the description bar for information on our $4.99 a month members only channel where we have weekly lives and talk about stuff like this. And also information on super thanks and such. Okay, let's go to some swatches here. The first swatches I want to show you, we're going to do them in 2 different lights. First, we have here in studio lighting swatches of just the 2 eye palettes. We have Rivage on the left and Coral Treasure on the right. That's 78 and 88 in studio lighting. But you're never going to see them as well as you will outside in the warm California sunshine. I lie a little bit. It is getting ready for a big storm here. There is nothing spring anywhere in the world except in Chanel's world. That's all I have to say. Even down under, it's still summer, not spring. And then here in this hemisphere, it's definitely wintry. But in Chanel's world, I just want you to know it's spring. So we will pretend that this is the warm California sunshine for you to see those 2. And then I was going to take those off of my arm and put all the face products on my arm, but I realized you guys probably would want to see how those coordinate with the eye shades. See, I was thinking. So I left the eye shades on, and down below my arm here, first in studio lighting, we have the eye shades up there. Then I did both blushes side by side. I'll probably swirl them, but I did them both side by side. And then first the highlight, that kind of chunky powder highlight, and then that beautiful Baum Essentiel in Mermaid Glow. Yeah, I kind of wish they hadn't called it that too, but I don't really care because it's stunning. It's stunning. So beautiful. Now let's take that arm out with really much everything loaded up on it outside into the wink, wink, warm California sunshine. Not so warm, but we'll go with. And there we have both eye shades. We have the powder blushes, both shades. We have the Lumiere Lotion and the Baum Essentiel in Mermaid Glow. And I really try to get you up nice and close there so you can really check it out. It might not be that sunny, but we're pretending it's spring. And certainly the natural light is very, very nice. Okay, so I'm kind of only half made up here, but I figured let's just kind of get started. I don't have any sort of mascara on or anything. I think we'll give the benefit of that to the Coral Treasure, and I think we'll just do the blue Rivage on my eyes. You can imagine mascara and such. While I'm getting my mirror and such set up, why don't you take a moment to make sure that you are subscribed, and if you're not, please hit that subscribe button, as it does take still subscription to get the channel some wider viewing audience. Thank you so much. Okay, let's get started. We'll do both eyes here with these Rivage shades. I'm not usually a wearer of blue, but let's give it a try. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this is some Sonia G brushes, nice big one. I'm going to go into this really pretty kind of coffee shade. These are really subtle shades, if you haven't noticed, and Chanel eye quads are famous for that. I was going to do one eye and one eye, but I thought, I have the time, so let's get a better look by doing both eyes, don't you think? You can let me know what you think of that down below. I think it's easier to really get an impression when you see both eyes. And I'm going to take the same brush, this blue shade. Oh, I don't know, you guys. I'm not usually into blue eyeshadow, but it's so subtle and reflective and pretty. And I love the way the Sonia G brush applies it. These brushes are coming back, I think, right? Or is it the others? The others, the early. Sonia G has had so many good releases lately. A lot of them are going to be coming back. This is a favorite though, and it applies this blue so beautifully. I am going to switch to another Sonia G brush, and I am going to take this right here and just put that on the inner corner. Gosh, that's so pretty. Again, we don't have the benefit of mascara and such, and eyeliner, which it is a benefit. It really does help, but you can use your imagination there. And here we go, this really highlighty shade I want to just put right into the middle. This is kind of mimicking what the sales associate was saying at Chanel if we were to put this into there, right? Okay. Maybe we'll try that on the other palette, in fact. Okay, remind me. You'll be here to remind me, right? Okay, that is beautiful. I'm not usually a blue fan, but I think that really works, even with my coloring. And I'm glad I did both eyes. I think it gives you a better idea. Just imagine the mascara and stuff. The reason I don't put mascara and eyeliner on and then scrub it all off is it tends to irritate my poor little eyes. Okay, let's look at some of these blushes here. We have two. So I brought over some small brushes because I thought we would do one and one. Generally, I would mix them, but I thought, pardon my reach there, I would do one and one at first just so we can see them here. And I will over apply. I'm using a smaller brush just to try to get into only one shade. Then I'll mix them and I'll go in with a bigger brush. This is kind of the more coral shade of the two, and I just wanted to show it to you because some of you might choose to wear it, to wear the single blush. Now, is there any sort of a perfume scent? Not to the eye shades. Maybe a teeny bit to the cheek shades, but nothing, I think, that would bother you. But of course, you know you better than I know you. That's so pretty. And now I'm going to use another brush that I brought over, a tiny one, to go into the other shade. This is the rosier of the two. I'll mix them in a moment. But let's just see what it's like if we were to use them as two separate blushes, as they are divided in the pan. And these shades, I'm using Sonia G, these brushes I should say, sorry. I'm using Sonia G, but these brushes that are, good for highlight and whatnot, they'll fit in this pan really nicely. Plus, it kind of doesn't really matter if you make a mistake and touch the other one. I had a review yesterday of the new Estee Lauder Bronze Goddess palette where the highlighter sits right next to, if you haven't seen that, you got to check it out, the black lid liner shade. Ridiculous. You won't have that problem here. Okay, so just like this, we have the same side of the face here, rosier shade, more coral shade. But I do admit that what I would generally do, and this is a Wayne Goss number 2 brush, what I would generally do, you guys, I admit, is just kind of mix them and go on like that. And I don't think they're complementary shades, so I don't think you're going to tell too much of a difference. And yes, I have overdone it, not to be clownish, but to just let you see what that looks like. I think that's really pretty, actually. Okay, how about some of these highlighters? I think what we're going to do is we'll do the highlights with the second eye look, and then we'll try out both of those highlighters. So I'm going to go scrub this off, and we'll be right back. Okay, 2 things that I want to add really quickly before we get into the other palette and some of the face looks is this brush that comes inside the blush is actually super useful. I probably should have used that, but I have used it in other videos. It's very narrow, comes with it. No charge, no extra charge, I should say. And, it's really narrow and could definitely fit into those little spaces if you are interested in using both blushes. So I thought I was kind of remiss in not stating that fact. The other thing I have to say, so that we don't have some sort of crazy Michaela type incident, I realized when I went to take off this lovely palette here, the Shore palette or the Rivage palette, I had a little bit of mascara left on from earlier in the day that I'd forgotten about. So if you thought, wow, you look good without mascara, that's why. But now I do have full mascara on. Just wanted to be transparent. And we're going to do the rest of these looks. I'm kind of excited about these face highlights, to be honest with you. But let's go ahead first. Now that I really have eyeliner and real amounts of mascara on, let's go ahead and try this too. Okay, let's start right here. And I am just going to kind of put this all over the eye. I thought this would be our kind of finishing look because it is definitely kind of goes with the little sweatshirt I'm wearing, and to me this is even more spring. If we're going to pretend it's spring, let's do it right? Okay, and this coral shade, I feel like this is really part of the collection. Although I think one of the highlighters we're going to play with is kind of reflective blue, so that I suppose would go a little better with the other eye palette. Let's go ahead underneath that too with that same kind of matte shade. Just pull the look together a little bit. Okay. And how about this shade here, just to darken that. These are very subtle shades. Now this is not unique for Chanel. If you are a fan of Chanel quads, these aren't going to be really powerful shades. I like that. Some people don't. It's just personal preference. I like it though. I really like that you can keep building. They don't get muddy. They work on top of one another. To me, that's a selling point. I'm sticking with the same brush, Why Make Brush Laundry, and going into this beautiful pink, which I just want to put all over the mobile lid. It's going to take a little bit of building. Now, you have to understand, you guys, that just because something is subtle does not mean it's difficult, does not mean it's not buildable. It is just a different style and a different look to eyeshadow that is the antithesis of something like Pat McGrath or, frankly, even Natasha Denona. I like this about Chanel, though, because I enjoy building slowly to an eye look, and then I can make it as dark or as kind of delicate as I want. And I'm going to go back under the whole eye with that really pretty pink shade and really just drop that down there. I love it. Okay, oh boy, now we have this shade here. I really want to do something fun with that. So let's go ahead. I really saturated it onto my brush, and we're going to work that into the corner. Oh God, and you know, I was talking about that reflective blue. There's where you see the tie-in to the collection. This pink here has a little bit, I didn't realize it before, of a slight blue reflectiveness to it. Not that you'd wear this, you might mix the two eyeshadow quads, but it's just something that ties the collection together. I really am in love with this look. I think it's so pretty. And look at it with the blush, and you know, you'll have to imagine the Baume. This is from a different collection, this Rouge Baume that I'm wearing, but they do have kind of those pinky coral rosies, two of them. Okay, now let's get into, now that I'm really pleased with that eye look, let's go ahead and get into these. Okay, I'm thinking about the way to apply this, and because I know it's a little bit glittery and duochrome, I actually think I'm going to use a dense brush. This is the F2 from Wayne Goss. The reason being I don't want it to just fall out all over the face, and sometimes a fluffy brush might do that. So let's just try it on this side. Oh, it is. It is that blue glitter, you guys. It is. And yes, because I used a dense brush, it's applying a lot of it. But, you know, I really wanted you guys to see it. But I'm not getting fallout. Whereas a really fluffy brush, like the one I used for the blush, that might make it rain glitter. And I don't know that I wanted that. Isn't that pretty? I'm only doing it on one cheek because we'll do the other. It is definitely kind of a blue. You know, we had that quite a few seasons ago, quite a few years ago. How many years ago, you guys? 6, 7 years ago. I'm going to try even putting a little bit of it on the eyes. Remember they told me that? I'm going to go over the other shade. I hope that didn't ruin the eye look for you. And there it is with the highlighter on that cheek. But I'm dying to get into this Baum Essentiel, this Mermaid Glow, because boy, is that pretty. And I love this product. I just love this product. Okay, I just apply right to the skin. You could go on a brush first. No one's gonna send the makeup police. So we have that same reflectiveness minus the kind of, I mean, they say mermaid, but it's kind of minus that blue quality. So we have that same kind of, I'll do a little bit of that on the nose too so you guys can see it. Just a little more. Let me really overdo it here, okay? This is not how I would wear it out, but I just kind of wanted to really catch the light. Now, if you haven't worn this before, it is a Baume. It does stay a little bit tacky. Not tacky looking, stop it. Tacky feeling. And it does look like a kind of really moisturized balm on the skin. Whereas this is definitely a powder highlight. This one, to me, is really fun and editorial to have on camera, but I don't know if it's going to be everyone's first choice because it's got the blue in it. I think it's fun, but it's very young. But the Mermaid stick, which you would think would be super young because of the name Mermaid, I think they should have switched the name. I think this is a little more mermaidy, but they're calling it Ocean, right? Because it's got the blue in it. And it goes with the shore. Remember I told you this had the blue. This is called the shore in French. And those two kind of do go together. Maybe this stick here goes a little bit more with this look here, the Coral Treasure. I don't know. It all works as a complete collection though. And I think it's really, really pretty. If you're being very... if you're not trying to be editorial, I really wanted some of the showy stuff to share with you guys. And I know people like to window shop and not purchase at all. But if you're really thinking of purchasing for yourself, the Rouge Baumes, I mean, these lip balms, different collection here, but these lip balms are always lovely. They're never a bad purchase. And I'll tell you, this Baum Essentiel in the Mermaid Glow is amazing. And it's not silly. I admit that this one has blue flecks in it. So I know you might not want that. I think it's fun. I don't know how much I'll wear it, but I'm glad I got it for us to look at it together. Chanel blushes, always a winner. Use them one and one or swirl them together. And don't forget, as I initially did, that this brush is a good one and can be really helpful with that. For the eye shades, just depends. Do you like these warmer shades? I kind of do. Or this cooler shades, which we wore first. They're both beautiful. To me, I think my favorite is this with the Mermaid and the blushes. But I thought the others were a lot of fun to try on. I like when Chanel does kind of crazy stuff like that. They do. You know, it's interesting. It's different. But for those of you that are looking for everyday wear, I think it's quite clear which products. But they all perform beautifully. They're all a lot of fun. That eye look is just knocking me out, even with or without the highlighter, the powder highlighter that I put in the middle there at the end. I think it's just fantastic. All right, what are you interested in? Do you get the nail polishes? I do gel, so I never pick up the nail polishes, but I used to love Chanel polishes back in the day. Remember Vamp? Oh, it was so good. It was so, so good. So tell me what you're picking up, what you're trying to track down, what you've gotten in your Chanel boutique. I really want to thank James and, of course, the lovely Michelle. And Nazi, get better soon. I know I'll see her back at the Chanel boutique soon. It's never the same without her there. I want to hear all of your thoughts. After all, that's what makes us a community. Make sure that you subscribe and like and share. And I look forward to seeing all of you in the next video. Bye-bye.